swiveling around. Does get found out. And it's down.
Holy shit! Silver.
What?
It feels like Jing found the hard frags in the round, but couldn't get the easy one at the end. The submachine gun of Silver getting the job done, which means the bonus round goes the way of T1. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, Paper X, you lose the first kill. You know, kind of walk up to the start line at that point, and then you explode right on out. But it feels like you've just had that Red Bull can cracked in your face for the clutch that comes through from the likes of Silver. I mean, W Gaming, they got into the site, they were running around with their heads and finding all the T1s, but yeah, just couldn't get the job done at the end. Red Bull clutch for T1. That hurts.
So much so, definitely gasping for air off a play like that. Well, Paper X, that said, now down with the economy. T1 finding so much confidence to peek out. Remember, this is Paper X's map pick, and now they're getting pushed back by salvos. Flashback against Buzz though, but he's still able to hold out the line.
Yeah, you still got to remember that a team like T1, they can still know how to play this map, right? They can still fashion a good victory, but as I say that, these pistols, I mean, let's just have a scrap battle.
Full scrap, Paper X comes out on top of the brawl.
2 versus 3 again though, Clack, so you got to get the plant down, you got to contend with
Low semua sih. Enggak sih, cuma 2.
That said, Jing does have an ult to work with, and he's playing around drop, a good launch pad if anything. T1 right now, both of them as a duo, marching forward.
Let's go, Meteor.
A lot of noise being made known towards Sands as well.
What?
Meteor!
What?
Once again, look
What?
at the needle, and he finds it threaded through.
Gila, my king.
Illegal. For those that don't know, Quack is a PRX fan.
Well, that aside, you know, if we throw my the PRX biases aside, this is what 3v2.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a kind of
look, it's a scenario where everybody has won the duels over at the dish for the Paper X squad, and in the 3 versus 1, you've got Meteor that's just getting Patman, finding an individual that'll lean out from Dubai, and then individually winning the spray game where Jing's spray. It looked atrocious, I'm not gonna lie. 2 rounds so far, we've seen the spray not really look too good for Jing whatsoever. So he needs to make sure that he tosses that to the side, and this is where Paper X start to wake up. Blimey. Maybe. I knew! As soon as we heard the audio, I'm saying to myself, it's gotta be a tech timeout,
Kalah, tech pause.
But no, 4 rounds. 4 rounds, and this is the wake-up call that we saw in the previous one from Talon, right? So maybe this is the wake-up call for Paper X.
It's not one where the coach gets to do any talking.
Yeah, this is true.
So it still is a really different scenario, but that's it. I mean, a lot of great awareness coming out from the T1 players currently, and that's why, you know, what Pilsky said actually bears a lot of weight. While, you know, majority of us are PRX stands, fair enough, you know, we can call it like it is. You cannot discount T1 whatsoever. Yeah. They might have had some rocky performances from before, but
I'm just a fan of good Valorant.
Yep.
T1 so far are pulled away with a couple of good retakes there, and what I was trying to highlight earlier is you've got to remember the T1 are a team that don't play Fracture. Yep. Right? Close loss to DRX in overtime, beating Zeta Division, playing internationally, you know, having you know, some close losses and a close win. It's not the most comfortable map for T1, but it is a map that they know how to play.
Precisely. Hence the positions once again right now, and hearing so much info towards drop. The smokes have been propped up, and it's Jing trying to launch things with the showstopper. Doesn't really find too much, but just lets it rip straight towards spawn. He's now hiding inside the smoke, and he gives Stacks a little bit of a kiss.
Nice.
Until Izu, though, swings back out for the trade. Meteor now trying to play inside the smokes, and he will spot out Dubai, where Jing is the only one left. The spike down on the ground. Izu spots out the final player. T1, 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, Izu's been pretty phenomenal over this B site, sorry, A site at the moment, hasn't he? He's just multi-fragging up a storm, getting set up by the team as well. Everybody dancing around the sky smokes. Working really good for them. I see the timer paused again. Maybe we will have a little tech issue once more. We'll wait to hear if there's going to be any audios. I believe it's a gear issue as well. So something that we can hopefully rectify pretty quickly, and I think we need to Paper X in the grand scheme of things, as that deployment towards the A side again was kind of just all through dish. Okay, it's a normal timeout. Normal. So we got Coach Alex and sub Coach Mindfreak.
Mindfreak mainin kocak.
We'll see. All that aside, though, there definitely is something in the water for the Southeast Asian team right now.
Well, he's not in the water. He's in the map. But he's not treading water, I'll tell you.
You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Definitely not the performance that you're looking forward to.
Sure. Seems like all the words to come through are done.
Wow. He's shaking his head.
Not happy.
This does not feel
happy.
good.
I mean, how many times have we seen Paper Rex just try to get through Dish so far and it be unsuccessful? 3? Yeah, 3 times.
Count them up, Lee. Count them up. That's it. T1 on the other hand, phenomenal job so far receiving Paper X with every hit that gets sent their way.
And it's going to be another eco scenario for PRX as well here with just something on the Guardian. Meanwhile, we get a little bit of this A control from Izu to spotting by himself. And an attempted transition potentially from Buzz, but they don't need to do anything too unexpected here, T1. Just playing to the numbers, playing with the weaponry, waiting to see what Paper X are sending your way. They're going to go for any orb control. Maybe it's going to be on Pac-Man with the Rolling Thunder one away. You can kind of just give it to them at this point in time as well, because you know what the buy is essentially looking like. Forsaken with an overdrive available if they want to try and get in somewhere too. That turret is looking the wrong way, but the alarm bot will be the first thing to give info.
Okay, well, Steel Garden goes all the way through as well. Buzz now.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that beautiful movement straight into the side. Overdrive completely denied as well. Now Buzz with his overdrive of his own straight in towards tower where Pentman tries to fend them off, but only good for the first. Meteor once again down to finish.
Yeah, they will weather through Forsaken's overdrive as well. No other big ultimates or massive investments from Paper X, so they'll have a gun round to come through here, but it is 6-0. This is the one that you really need to see them start to pull their heads together on this attacking side as well, right? You have a timeout previously. They had a pretty abysmal conversion rate after. Well, that's just going to get even worse now with dropping that round. So you would expect the timeout is going to have to be for this round here. And they've got the proper weaponry back in their hands.
See what they're able to scrounge up together.
Yuk bisa yuk, menang at least 1 bab aja. Yuk.
Just come up with as many rifles as possible to spray down suppressive fire down our
Kemarin T1 2-0 mulu, so.
Scenario where you think the Paper X would have found the opening kill,
Aduh,
which they still will
Izu.
do in a different location around the map.
Izu's been sending out the stealth drone repeatedly now, so instant recognition. Smokes back up, and then for Stacks to play sneaky around the edge.
Yeah, it's all patience now for Paper X. What are you going to beat out? What are you going to try and do together as a team? Are you just going to go back to big old fracture things and try and set Pac-Man in unders to ult in towards the site? Try to go in together.
Bisa ini dapat 1.
Possibly.
Oh, dapat 1 nih, lihat nih.
Dish, by the way. So that's not going to have to be thought of over at this site. The operator line for Buzz is good for 1 here.
Aduh.
Ooh. Oh, he jumps up and sends in the relay at the right time. Does deter
Oh!
Forsaken straight into its tower. Now Sylvan holding the off end.
Mantap.
And that's
Paper X completely stopped in their
Yeah,
tracks.
that's on the back of the Rolling Thunder as well. Now, Stacks is in the right location. That might
Gila,
be
Stacks.
expected here with sub 30 seconds to
No
go.
chance.
No, they're not even thinking about it. There's
Ah, kena.
it's damage control. What are you going to be able to find? And
Di pojok anjing dia.
nothing. That's a scenario where Paper Rex get the opener. But apart from that, nothing.
Nada.
Zilch.
More synonyms.
Donut.
The donut hole. That's a lovely one. Egg is another as well.
Oh, we're cracking eggs at the moment right now. We're making an omelette because T1 is having a big old breakfast today.
Complete.
Paper Rex,
What's in Southeast Asia? Brag.
Time out lagi.
Nonetheless.
Marah-marah, ayo.
yeah,
Alex marah.
Timeout, Paper X.
Yeah,
What do you got for us now? This is the pick of Paper X, remember, so big time talking about the fact that we've got 2 weeks of preparations coming into this. It's 2 weeks of preparations for Paper X to, you know,
Ayo marah-marah.
them veto
Alex
the way they
harus
want,
marah-marah.
get their map pick the way they want, and coming out with the map pick choice being Fracture here. Starting off with a 0-7 is not the way that you really wanted this to go. I mean, you look towards what they came away against Boom, for example. They lost that one. They beat Gen G, but that was earlier on where Main Freak was playing in the team on that one, and you also saw just like
Ya nggak nunjukin kamera Alex. Oh ini dia.
from the likes of Paper X, but then I also just remember Suggest was playing in towards that one, right? So it's a bit of a different scenario for Gen G as well, and they awoke with Proxy 9 coming back in towards it. So feels like this one is a bit of a pressure problem for Paper X, especially just further accentuated now that this is an elimination.
Well, like we see it. And once again, we are
Ayo,
on the outside looking
T1
in, so
sebelumnya
you
di
really
Bangkok
know,
lu kayak gini
but
juga.
definitely say
Lu
that
di lower
this is
bracket
not
tapi lu
looking
masih bisa
great.
menang.
Meanwhile, for
Ayo.
T1,
Looking fabulous. And
once
really
again,
needing to stretch out,
Right.
do too much in the map, it feels like.
same defensive setups. Once again, marking down into Arcade. You spot them out in full. Sylvan able to receive off of the fault line even. Decent shots now coming through though. Forsaken able to silence Meteor.
But they're in the site now, Quack, and that's something that Paper X have not really been able to do successfully so far, right? Get a little bit of time on the back of getting the plant down, which actually has been staved off for quite a few moments as the lockdown.
Bisa retake gak sih pakai ulti stacks?
And this is the time where we'll start to see the retake now happen.
Thunder. Izu in position. Buzz making a bit of noise towards Canteen just to pull some attention away. Paper X really keeping that view. Patman though with the off angle right now. The Rolling Thunder not let rip, so just a call to save on to utility while the rest of the team tries to find as much as possible. Patman then able to collect in quad.
Okay, on the board
Disimpan ya
this
ulti
time,
awal.
getting some trades, overwhelming the B side, dropping a lockdown in there is what you like to see. Mind you, the reason that I said donut earlier is because I did see the kill department of something, and it's still the circular number, unfortunately. But this time, Patman getting a bunch of great shots out there, and just the team looking a little bit better to overwhelm T1, but they are not chipping away whatsoever. The scoreline, credits will still be looking good. T1 have another crack at a good half here to further extend the lead.
Buzz position on victory.
And also you got Izu spotting out over towards the dish. You'll destroy the turret, which actually looked like it got retrieved by Dubai just before it got broken.
Drone at minute 20 mark as well.
Oh, Izu, what you got for us here?
Armageddon in towards stuns where he might just be able to find it, but no, Paper X. They've got the angles locked down this time, and Forsaken slithers
Tuh,
forward
kenapa dia marip belakang
to
ya?
silence Meteor once again.
Can't drop this one though as Paper X 4 versus 2. No ultimates inside for T1, though you're giving Jules to Sylvan, not like this. A trade, and Buzz now for the 1 versus 2 with an operator.
He's making a lot of noise, so Paper X knows exactly where he is, now holding the off angle of the site. You have the spike in view. Surely you're able to find it, and there it is. Paper X recovering off the 2 timeouts call.
Could you imagine if he got off the defuse, line up that operator shot for the moment they crossed over?
No.
I would have removed my headset and walked out the door.
I would have joined you,
I would
Komodo.
have gone over to Chobra and said, get on the desk. He's like, get over here and cast.
Yeah, we'll be having fun together as a whole trio now, wouldn't we? This.
I mean, hey, look, Paper X, you've actually managed to pull away the round besides making us get on our seats a little bit when Sylvan is just winning 2 individual duels there. But they bring it together, they collectively, calmly win the round at the end there to try and get into a reasonable scenario for this scoreline, right? If they can bring it up to 7-5,
Yes.
then we're starting to wonder and ponder. Okay, they're starting to get their attacking side nice.
Let's
Ah, salah stun.
make a bit of noise towards north side, bait Izu out into the opening, and then you go for the south side push where Buzz has already made known. So the question is, how do you work around this operator that you're so aware of?
Yeah, well, it is just Buzz here by himself.
Ngobak,
Karin
ngobak.
has to play a little bit more on the passive variety. Look like to at least dodge out the flashpoint, but he's still on the line.
And now it's going to be both ults being let rip from both sides. Rolling Thunder, though, a little bit more impactful, but Forsaken doesn't stop. Just into the smokes with the shorty, takes out stacks, and looks to reposition. Off towards Heaven now. Sylvan getting peppered down. Suppressive fire from the team is good. We got a minute left, and the spike's still not down.
And this is the time as well for Paper X.
Bisa
Generally,
rotate
they would
sih.
just look to stick around, go for more challenges, get chaotic, but playing on the more passive variety. Forsaken traded. Meanwhile, the rest of the team has started to already book it towards B. There is the
Wah, info
shield
tuh.
still here. An 8 seconds to be
Info
forced to
parah
use
itu.
incendiary too. So with the rotation from Buzz now also over here, this is now the more stacked
Oh,
team.
belum
The
berotasi.
whole intention of this rotate is to call in with a possibly Rolling Thunder into sight, but now it's getting blocked off somewhat. The op still firing through. Sylvan in great position to find a little bit more. He kind of almost gets propped up by it, but still, Paperworks finding a couple more trades down to Buzz.
10 seconds, Spike.
Trading right
Almost
back.
irretrievable.
I don't see how Dibawah is able to make this sprint. He tries though, but the angle is still in position. Salvos soon enough. And Buzz
Mati dong.
sliding in. Dibawah
Whoa.
caught unaware or caught in the
King
animation
Buzz.
Yeah, there was just no way that he was going to be able to get out of that one, unfortunately, when you've got Buzz and Izu playing together. If there's even a scenario where he's tapping onto the spike to try and win the duel against Buzz, he would have to find Izu in the millisecond as well that the round would almost have left. So just great little allocation play from T1 in the moment there. And for Forsaken, I mean, yeah, maybe overstaying at the A side a little bit. What if he slipped in towards the tower instead and looked to catch up any rotations? It was early rotations from T1 to that B side that really worked the treat, wasn't it though? Incendiary to stop any numbers of Paperworks getting through the sheer wall together. Just not able to remove that operator from the equation.
And that's where you really just have to sing the praises of T1 once again. Every single player very aware of what their role, what their responsibility is. Sylvan putting up that incendiary just shows great awareness. Next round coming up, and it's slightly different setup with Meteor watching the angle.
Yeah, it's not Buzz on the operator this time, at least. But there'll be no damage on the exchange.
Thrown out.
See what Paperworks want to try and do to end up out of this B side when they don't have any, I'll call it large ultimates available, large area of
Gimana?
ultimates. It's just Jing with the showstopper.
Aduh.
Yeah, trying to be the catalyst for the team into the positions. He does let it rip. Second blast back out.
Jing, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
To matrix dodge that ult.
Hell nah.
Into the kill from Stacks where he's
Hell
able to
nah,
fight
Jing
and
throwing, bro.
through the smoke. Just Buzz off towards the back line, and Dibawah somewhat finding balance. Picks up the op, but you're down to round 11.
See you later to that guy.
Okay.
No 2 left feet, by the way, for Sylvan in this round. He is just absolutely done Jing dirty. That showstopper dodged and the kill to come through from Sylvan. Now the 1 versus 3. What can you try to do with the bike? I mean, the spike is down just kind of in the open in a tradable spot. You'd need very sharp shots here.
You gotta watch out for players who are trying to play off the contact as well. Oh,
You can just salvo him and he's pretty dead. Aftershocks as well. So yeah, the round's done. He's just flushed out.
Oh my
That's
god.
really nice play from T1 yet again.
Perfect
They
util usage.
are commanding on this defensive side of Fracture here, and
Pasti komen langsung 93 mana
It's
93.
disgusting.
Mana? Oh,
no,
nggak ada.
no role changes.
Pada ngatain Jing semua, nggak apa-apa.
For a team, but not 0 kill them.
Nah, itu sebenarnya
Yeah, I mean,
Si
T1 explained this one perfectly.
Sylvan-nya aja si OP.
Paperworks, even with coach intervention,
ini itu keren banget tadi.
scrambling at best to try and figure things out. I mean, there's been a lot of retakes, but T1 have just had the right pieces to go back in towards the retake.
Oh, and look at this now. Buzz feeling confident to
Whoa!
go for the correct place. Set perfectly
Woo!
set. He's online for the ace. Where is Forsaken? He's all the way across the map by north side.
Cek
Don't
arcade,
amaze,
cek
at
arcade.
very least, maybe. Forsaken though, does he look for it? Buzz, low HP.
Woo!
Mid-side.
Nice.
Denied Forsaken.
Buzz has just been sent to the moon in this one, folks. 10-2 half by T1. He's come out with the goods and the entertainment there, hasn't he? Supported by the breach utility, the great fault lines, the great flashpoints, and just the individual brilliance to dodge around as well. I mean, 32 HP and he catches Forsaken sliding through to try and answer.
Jangan pakai timeout please.
Just
Jangan, sumpah.
destructive half
Jangan
from
kasih mereka
T1.
diskusi. Udah menang ini.
Perspective, you would have to anticipate. You knew he was going.
Yeah,
for
you
that.
knew he would go for it. Like, Buzz is just the better Neon on this map right now.
Or even the calls for to send Buzz down. I'm sure you
He's not scared. Who's the best flex?
Right now, I'll let you take this one, Moto.
A giant rock in the sky.
Giant rock in the sky.
Gonna come crashing down and eliminate the dinosaurs.
That was, Alive and Paperfin had it last year.
That
It
was
was a distinction level event, Meteor, and he would be one of the big factors against Paper X. Remember last year on the Gen G as the Sentinel player. This time on towards T1, and he's kind of doing the same darn thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Really? Oh, she's...
it's the Masters winning team that's had some rocky starts in stage 1 here, of course.
For Meteor, 2-time Masters winner.
Yep. I mean, we've already said a bit adieu to previous champs winner, EDG. They will not be making their name known in the server over at Masters Toronto.
That's the whole thing about Valorant.
What is on the line for these teams?
Yeah, and also for teams not to stay on top for too long. Well, you can't make the same case for T1. T1's staying on top.
Oh, I mean,
Kind of.
for they continue playing like this.
We'll see.
Pistol round though. Let's see if Paper X is going to be able to convert this one and make something of this defensive side, or if T1 are just going to run away with this map.
Defense smokes and something cropped up off of the flash from Meteor. And also for the rest of Paper X to continue pushing
Mantap
out.
banget Meteor
What
emang.
is this? Checking the corners, and Meteor comes up with a double kill. Forsaken to
Udah
trade.
kosong itu.
And if you can hear my voice, it's...
I mean, the job might have been done.
Ayo,
there
semua, ayo
by
semua,
Meteor from
ah.
double, give an advantage to T1, who still do have the spike in possession, so they're going to push that towards the A site. They can plant to their heart's content.
Stun.
You expect Buzz though, off with the angles, and he finds the first. Jumps, relay bolts, slides for the second kill, looking for the third, but shut down so far by Patman.
And now they're not going to overheat. T1 in a 1 versus 3. I mean, easy. I'm looking at your position, mate. You're just watching the rope. You're playing salvos here. Confirmed that the rope play is not the play, and Sylvan's just going to individually win the duel. So pistol round now over towards T1, and that just makes things so much more difficult for Paper X here.
Probably going to be Matt Point, and then on who knows.
Yeah, I mean,
Even with the force, you can't really count on it too much.
I kind of understand the idea. If you hear some footsteps over towards the other side of the map, like why would somebody have snuck themselves in towards that corner? You're generally checking over towards, the actual tree side of things and the choke. So you kind of understand why Meteor wasn't cleared there, but I mean, just credit to Meteor.
I think something 0-13, cok.
The right damage, the rest of the team don't falter after that.
True, fair enough.
Now the force up has to come through for Paper X. Otherwise they concede map point, and 10 of them.
Out to climb.
Kan
Yeah,
0-3.
they're just gonna do a bare feet. Yeah, handed.
Like hobbits. No tools to assist.
Perex harus menang round ini sih.
For now, at least with
Kalau kalah round ini kacau udah.
control
Mereka next round miskin.
towards fog of war.
Round miskin dan match point udah.
Paper X.
I mean, T1 in the
Force
scenario
Buy
don't
juga
see anything
bisa beli
from
apa
Paper X,
anjir.
right? They see
Duit mereka
nothing
tuh
as
100, 100,
they can
100,
assume that there might be
150.
something happening over
Paling
at
max
A,
duit
but
1000
the shield
sekian.
has been placed there by
2000 lah.
Meteor. It's just safeguarding that one at the moment. They do traverse still towards this Bravo site. I mean, they're only going to have to contend with a Devi who's got the turret at one side to spot info, which now gets removed. And you're going to have some quick rotations come out from the rest of the Paper X members.
He's got to find at least one kill, but he's getting peppered by so much utility. The drone, the fault line, now trying to hide inside of the smoke, but T1 has a very good idea of where he is. Ooh, slip past though. Shot towards the back of Sylvan's skull. Down for the rest of Paper X to arrive somewhere near the site. The spike still goes down.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go, and now a bit of stuns up around the site as well.
Nice
Nothing
banget.
can come through for Paper X at the
Dia
moment.
soalnya baki cok kalau
Cosmetic stun.
nggak kena mati tuh.
Gotta get the plan. Or maybe not, just get the kills.
Yeah, hunting down for
Nice,
King,
udah
and there
miskin.
he is,
Kayak gini
Meteor
udah.
once again crashing down
Miskin
upon
ini
the
sumpah.
dinosaurs.
Lihat ya duitnya
Now it
berapa
is
ya.
the 10 map points to come through for T1. That was the force up for
Kan
their
2000
squad
doang.
as well.
Harus buat first buy ini.
They're going to try and do what they can come at this next round. And I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, something, get on the board. Don't deliver us a Gemkin effect that we saw on Bind of last year. No Rainer, for those that remember.
Well, if
He has got 9 assists.
if he's able to turn things around on Sand, maybe.
Yeah, opening kill would be needed for Paper X here. You see a lot of bodies in main, you see a stun go your way, you want to try and get out or you want to try and get one. And unfortunately that can't be delivered.
Aduh,
Okay,
Bas.
I've cursed him! We've cracked the egg! He's on the board, and now it's going to be 10 rounds in a row for Paper X.
Alright, I'm gonna cut you right there.
Oh,
Three players from
something
T1
akhirnya
on
nggak
the
kill.
side. You also have Sylvan trying to reposition towards A main. He has a very good idea of where Paper X are. Full contact now off the flashes, but Paper X will fully collapse and descend onto T1.
Yeah.
finding all of these rifles.
Well, it's 5 alive for Paper X as well, so if you want to start off any chances to get back in towards a map like this in a flawless variety, well, how about starting off with a flawless round? And all doing it together. There you go. Effort by committee.
It's one of those where she's able to surprise T1, but how many surprises can you really pull out? You've been pushing a main for the past several rounds, well, the past 3 rounds, a little bit. T1 certainly going to repeat that.
We'll see what the answer is going to be for, I think more importantly, Paper X for the next couple of rounds if they have that available, because this is going to be another purchase for T1.
Full buy kan? Ya, full buy.
Side of the map.
Sedangkan mereka half buy nggak bisa beli
I like
apa-apa.
the idea that they have down towards the south side, by the way, with the arc rows, but it's going to be smoked immediately for some tree control.
Once again, they main push,
Confirming that the
Mungkin
information
aneh-aneh
is
aja
there,
dah
so
line
much
up-nya.
of it.
do have some KJ utility towards draw.
Shia going to be baited. Yeah, KJ utils down. This could be very worrisome, although I think maybe something has hurt this.
Yeah, he's trying to stay online, but he's not frosty enough. Petman, though, good for the trade. Now flashes out looking for another, but a little bit too greedy.
Cukup satu aja buat something.
Angel's still available to chink it.
Yeah, he's got a good chance to really chuck it in the right spot, isn't he? But where? You got Meteor coming up from the back as well. Yeah, not truly certain. The smokes will dissipate, and now for the rest of Paper X to hold this down, a full firefight until Meteor ascends from the back. Forsaken, though, trying to launch himself back in.
Ulti aja nggak sih?
1v1 where he knows where Meteor is.
Win anyway nggak
Doesn't
sih?
really have much to work off of.
Nice.
That is where Meteor will silence the full outright. It's 13-3 at the end of map 1, at the end of Paper X's map pick.
Yeah, did not think that was going to be the result scoreline here for the first one of this elimination game, but T1 have certainly come out with something special on that map, a bit of a master class that we didn't really see from them at Masters, but they carried on the information from that one and just the great realizations and calls in this map. 13-3 on Paper X's map pick makes you quite worried going into the second one of Ascent, which is T1.
Tapi Perex itu apa sih?
And I believe
Kayak lagi gak jelas banget, Cok. Mudah mainin main fake apa?
Ascent is a map where we don't see too often from either team, but at the same time just questioning basic things like form. It really, really makes you feel so darn nervous because we do have to say goodbye to one of these teams at the end of this match.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm hoping that there's going to be just a really big reset for Paper X in this short little interim before we get onto that second map. Maybe they want to bring something more normal, agent-wise, composition-wise. Felt very uncomfortable in that map for them.
That said, though, again, we are on the outside looking in. We're not in the practice rooms with them. We don't entirely know, but maybe it's just a bit more comfort looking for that. Nonetheless, one thing is for sure, Paper X off this first map pick has been absolutely derailed. We'll toss it back over onto our desk.
Hancur anjir.
I can definitely hear Quack choking back a few tears there. Very professional. Good job to you. Of course, this was not easy to watch for Paper X fans. And for T1, you saw the smiles on their faces. They know that they own this map. Look at that scoreline. I mean, what else can we say? We can cry.
They cooked him. There's no two ways around it. That is a tough watch for PRX fans.
This was a fraction masterclass from T1, and this just goes back to what we were kind of touching on. It's like you can have all the prep time you want, you can have all these ideas, but T1 has played a lot of reps at Fracture. They played 10 reps so far this year with very similar looking comps, and they're just going back to what works for them. You saw it on that defensive
Udah yang paling bener, udah jangan mainin Jing. Something main duelist.
Allowing them to rotate effectively. The way that they played those sites and anchored things down was beautiful to watch. And then
Main frag, main smoke udah. Bagus sih, terserah. Yang penting T1 menang.
Pretty poor maps lately, but he's back in prime form in this series in the lower bracket. That was
1:15.
popping, running around on the neon, getting active, getting involved in the action, and having some sick neon ults as well.
I mean, for me, honestly, I don't think T1 particularly overperformed here. I think this is a PRX massive underperformance is the problem. I don't think they were awake. Something 1 and 15 when almost the whole game on 0 kills. Like, I don't think T1 won this as much as PRX lost.
At the end of the day, like, he's played Teo, he's played Breach, he's played Brimmy on this map. Like, what role can you put this guy in?
I don't think the roles are the problem here. I think not being awake as you load into the game is a problem for the PRX team. I don't think they even played this map. I think that's the problem. You know, I don't think it's Brimstone that's a limiting 1 and 15 factor for him, because Brimstone shouldn't be stopping him. It's not something incredibly complicated. The fact is they were not even awake on that stage. They were not in these rounds. They're in really strange, stupid positions. They're throwing rounds that they shouldn't throw. That's the problem, is they have to wake up.
No, I have to agree with you there. This was T1 was normal. Okay, it was like it was normal. I mean, of course, like,
I mean, the normal is very good.
Their normal is very good. It's still T1, right? It's still T1. But yeah, for PaperX, unfortunately, just too many mistakes that were just very, very difficult. And of course, I totally forgot that dinosaurs went extinct because there was a big meteor that arrived. Apparently, that meteor was buzzing as well, because that's exactly what happened.
It was staxing, some might say.
Staxing? It was staxing. It was a Sylvan meteor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, work Sylvan.
Work easy with there.
Let's
How?
roll the replays.
Can't
wait. Go to replays.
Oh, but we have to talk about these rounds because these were so hard to watch.
I mean, this is where it all went wrong for me, where it's like, this is the very start of the game, this is the bonus round we should be able to win. Sylvan just walks all over them, gets them that bonus conversion, and then the round after, they're in, you know, an advantage post-plan. Meteor just walks in, fights one by one, just managing to isolate them so easily. I mean, I feel like this game just slipped out of their fingers.
Meteor lagi gacor sih.
The start here, and they could
Kalau
never
Bas ya
quite
udah,
get
emang Bas being Bas aja.
He was fantastic getting on those info lines on defense, you know, he's hopping over.
Meteor emang jago, tapi kita main kemarin memang nggak kerasa.
The neon so well. I honestly think that you could watch T1. Like, I am not an advocate for playing like T1, especially when they're playing the double duelist, but on Fracture, like, if you tried to copy paste their defense onto a lower level team, there's a lot of things you can learn from the way that they use the Teo drone to inform their rotates. Buzz, the way that he plays this neon, gets on these info lines and allows them to kind of flex around and rotate accordingly. Very, very good approach to Fracture. They're always so active on the map. They're always changing up how they're rotating, whether it's through north or south side. So I just love watching T1 on Fracture. I honestly think they play a fantastic Fracture, and I think that as well, the burst style that you got from PRX was countered very well by the Vice. Like, I think the Sheer actually gave them a lot of problems, and the Thorns gave them a lot of problems with how they wanted to play. A lot of the time it felt like Forsaken was out on the site and no one could really help him, even though they're playing Neon Rays and you want to try to be able to burst and actually get those timings with multiple people inside of the site. It just didn't actually feel like they were able to pull that off at all. And part of that is down to that hesitancy of just not being awake, but part of that is also down to, I think, the way that Meteor played the Senti and the counter U2 coming out from Stax and Izu.
Yeah. I think that farm up that PaperX usually has, it's part of the PaperX roller coaster, right? It's like first map, and it's like, oh, and then second map, oh, we're back again. And that's how it's gonna be for PaperX fans. Know this.
I mean, I said in the pregame, the whole reason I predicted PaperX is the story of it's so PaperX-like, and what could make it even more PaperX-like is get absolutely smacked.
You know, we have a saying back in the local PH Challengers that, like, you know what? In a hero story, the hero has to get beaten up first. You know, he has trials and he has challenges. Then he emerges, you know, a little bit muddy and stuff, and he opens the doors of Helm's Deep, and that's when you cheer.
Right. Cool. Like when the good part's coming next stage, right? They have no prep for Ascent. They've had 2 weeks to prep. T1 has never played Ascent before in this kickoff as well as Stage 1 era. They've got absolutely no data on what T1's going to be doing. For PRX, it's been a decent map, to be honest. They lost a very, very close map on it. The other one they won versus Boom. They lost a tight one to DFM. And I don't mind the way they approach this map. I honestly don't mind their Ascent at all, PRX, but you do have something on the Jet. And he is very sleepy today. He needs to really be fired up on this defensive side, or there is absolutely no hope here.
But maybe that was him, like, being, you know, shaking him away. Like, hey, gotta perform now. Now he's gonna go crazy on Jet.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like Jet is such, you know, it's a much more obvious pick for something where the muscle memory will kick in for him on this agent, where he knows how to play. He can get the op out and just lock lines. You don't have to kind of land a headshot every time. You just have to hit one bullet. It's a much easier agent through, and the roles
Iya
are pretty
sih.
natural, you know. So I'm
Nggak pernah ngeliat
I
T1
still
main
feel
di
okay
Ascent
about
kok.
them here, but now it's T1's turn for that surprise.
Yeah, 100%. I want to see what T1's going to be bringing out on this map. I mean, I don't know how much they've actually first banned it. I know they've been changing up their ban quite a lot. Maybe they've been second banning it a little bit, but Ascent has just not been a map that we've seen from them at all yet. So this is where they know that PRX has been able to sit back. They've got a lot of reps on multiple maps. T1, they love to draw out the series. They love to go to 3 maps. They played over in Bangkok. So you have the most data on T1 of almost any other team in Pacific. You know, you've seen this team and exactly how they're going to play so many times. So Ascent is just such a fresh pick into the lower bracket here, and clearly something that T1 have prepped on in here for the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna see Ascent twice in a row for like both these series today. Actually. I didn't think we were going here. But hey, going now into Ascent, and after that performance from Paper Rex, I surely hope that they haven't woken up. I surely hope that Alex is probably talking them into, okay, now we play. Are you guys okay now? All right, let's go into map number 2.
I mean, I've definitely said this before, but resetting after those stomping losses is easier because you can throw the whole map away. You can go, oh, okay, like something's gonna walk backstage and you're just gonna go, that's on me, guys. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
For sure. I mean, stat numbers don't lie.
And
Stats don't lie.
But you can move on from that because there's nothing you could have done to win that game.
Yeah,
when
there's
you
no
get
use.
stomped like
There's
that.
no use talking about it, right? It's like, okay, all right, we know. Now let's go into
Just clear the memory, reset, come into this series fresh because you know their Ascent has been good, right? So it's still a very winnable series for them.
Okay. I mean, they're going to need Will Smith to come in here and just click the little pen thing. Otherwise,
Yeah, the Men in Black.
guys, they're cooked. See you in stage 2. Like, I think they're cooked here. I'm not going to lie.
I think you don't believe in the story. This is a story team. This is what they want you to think.
You guys, what they want you to think. Let me know in the
2023,
chat. Let me
right?
know on Twitter. Is Morgan a good salesman? Can he sell you a vacuum cleaner that does not work?
I will believe.
Literally doesn't even turn on,
I
right?
will believe till the bitter end. I know that, like, we saw in a year ago today, these players have it in them to pull it off. We know that they can do it.
Come on, like 2023, Paper Rex AG, come on, but hey, that
We're up in the copium. Oh, this feels so good.
Kopium.
Okay.
Bringing up the agent copper right now. We do have something on that jet that we were bringing up earlier. Does this mean this is all good for Paper Rex?
We'll see. At T1, they're going to play the same thing they were playing in the
The
off-season,
baby
which is...
forsaken.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, he's going to need to be bringing back some of that. I heard he was winning some AIM comps when he was like 12 years old or something. But at the end of the day, T1, back to the meta comp. It's what they played in the off-season. It feels like them and Gen G in agreement that comp's still pretty good on a set.
Yeah, it's very standard. No more surprises here from Paper Rex. You know, exactly as we would expect. Like you said, Mika, something back on the jet, which I think is exactly what's needed here. Get the muscle memory going. Just believe in yourself and believe in what you've done in the past.
Hey, I love what that fan sign said. Stress, hypertension, migraine, I am all for it as long as we have a banger map, so we'll toss it on over to our casters, Quack and Komodo.
Thank you very much, Big Time and Pilsky. Yeah, we're definitely feeling a lot of that, but we'll throw that aside because we've got a job to do. T1 now looking definitely primed for success, but we'll see if Paper Rex are able to come back.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, T1 came out with a masterclass on Fracture for map number 1. Paper Rex has picked 13-3. If you are a Paper Rex fan, the series starts now, guys. You didn't miss anything in map 1.
We just started? Oh, how lovely. No, I don't know about that, but one thing we do know is that there is a lot of history again. Buzz, Stacks, even Meteor, Paper X, they should be familiar with this. This is a blast of the past with this composition that's being played, but right now, something onto the jet, trying to pepper shots through the smoke. Well, Forsaken's been spotted out as well.
This is where the reset will happen. Meteor's already starting to get look towards the A sites. We'll see what he's going to be able to fashion here if he dodges out the arc rows, and that will potentially come out from Defy soon enough. I think he may have spotted him. Now he definitely knows.
Right, if you've done your homework, you would know. Oh, and into the shots as well. Easy one alert. Okay, quickly dealt with.
Yep, but it is some damage to Forsaken, don't forget. So 4 versus 5, a retake will be the scenario for Paper Rex. I'm also just wondering, how far forward do these T1
Ini mah
guys go?
Paper Rex kan, nggak mungkin kalah dong.
Not too far. Still under the site. We have a lot of the utility positions all set up.
Well, that actually caught Stacks, by the way, so no flash drive available.
Door broken as well. They found Sylvan. And Meteor also all procured, but down to the trade. Stacks able to find a couple of shots in until Patman collects up the third.
Favorite's going to come away with the pistol. Good little retake for them there as well. A lot of numbers, a lot of bodies spotted out on that B side for T1. So I'm a little bit surprised that they wouldn't take all its space and stretch out through the tree, but hey, they were set up for a bit of a approach plan on the site itself. It didn't really work out. On the board though, Favorite hit them, what, 8 rounds to get one on the board over on map number 1. So as Big Time was saying, it's a lot easier to just forget the first map and how that eventuated and really just reset yourself into this one.
Yes, clean slate. We'll see how it goes. Team on for T1. Not too bothered by any of this either. You do have the outlaw in the head of something right now.
This may make control that we're trying to establish here as T1, just on this little eco.
Classic hot flashed over. Smoke.
Still got 0 by Patman and all the utility in case there is a big pop out. We've also got to contend with the util of Divide. Meanwhile, Meteor finds Forsaken.
Yeah, the Prowler snuck over. Still though, so far so good. You've got the anchors on the sites doing their thing.
That's all you need in a sort of scenario like this as well, as long as you're staying on top of the trade game. And I usually say you want to try and survive with everything for Paper X in a scenario like this, which they may do so.
Ini mah Paperex banget, Cok.
Rest to their positions. Stacks Izu for a way out, possibly. Peek straight into something though. Off to the classic pistol duels. There was a little right click.
Yep, wrong button. But the rest of your team is there to finish up the fray. So, Paper X 2-0. This is where we'll see the buy come through T1. And, I mean, ever since the addition of KO to this map, how many things can you talk about for these 5 agents in terms of ingenuity? So, a lot of positions, a lot of good calls, a lot of mid-round decisions T1 will have to come out with. And for Paper X as well, right? Some adjustments on their defensive side. Device switching up, going to the B site this time instead.
Top hit. Be a little bit of a peek. Shots. Ooh, Forsaken to finish the deal. And with a double shot up towards Stacks as well. Tailwinds away into safety.
This is good from Paper X. Dot and I's, crossing T's as we've been talking about, right?
Okay.
Make sure you destroy that dart, giving an option for something to be able to find some damage, find some kills. Forsaken to finish one off as well. That's a little bit of advice for Forsaken here, but sees and Defy.
Looking for the shot off to the head. Izu though, opening things up towards A short, where Meteor continues to prove to be a roadblock against Forsaken as well as Divide. Just a ghost. Can Forsaken really find the frag? Meanwhile, more mayhem on towards the A side. Forsaken finds the frag. Down to Sylvan, who does get blinded up, looks for the classic right clicks. Oh, and Sylvan will be able to stabilize.
He knew where Forsaken was as well a little bit ago, so it's just going to be this 1 versus 1. Lane going down. Haunt for Forsaken available. We'll reveal position with it.
Oh, and a ping. Sylvan has to smoke though. Work around the corners now.
Oh!
A little bit of movement and accuracy, and Sylvan will be able to pin him down. The Red Bull clutch for T1 to put one on the board.
Yeah, but a lot of damage from Paper X delivered in that round there, Quack. A great start for them as well with the opening double. Some 5 versus 3 conversion that I feel like we were saying way too bloody much.
Something mana coy ini.
They do manage to get the job done. Some individuals find some key trades, some key duels. Say a valiant attempt at the end there for Forsaken to be able to try and win that one.
And speaking of the KOs from before, you know, you love this one, right? Patman
KO
yes.
is generally my favorite agent of his, yep.
Something that he's been playing all throughout his career. Now back into comfort zones. You do have full pop flash. Patman being able to spin around 180. 2 kills until the trade from Izu.
Ini
Quick
flashnya.
launch possibly into the A side and quick rotation from Paper X over the top of Patman.
Also did see some changes recently to KO with the normal click if you bank it off the wall. Pops a little bit quicker, but the right hand pulling out the gun always works a treat. Speaking of gun work, it's something to try and find another, but he can't quite do so. 5 HP left for Stacks, and he'll be polished off. So now it's all down to Meteor, who was lurking. So a minute to go back for him to try and do something.
Great positions. Hey, main. Somewhat expected. Divide as well as Forsaken. Yeah, you got an outlaw. Forsaken
Masih dong langsung.
as well. They're possibly expecting him to drop off from heaven, but now spots him. And in into Meteor, continuing to
Taruh dulu.
flutter back and forth around the corners. Puts down the turret for extra cover, but it's still something quickly found by dibawah.
Of course, tagged up through the corner of the wall there as well, right? The Outlaw 140 when there was 125 HP for Meteor at the end there, so he was kind of given a little extra chance to potentially win out that round. But again, some nice work to come through from PaperX. Good underhanded flash drive to gain some main control. Love seeing Jets just try and dance in the air when there's no blade storms and get out of dodge. Just watch that one back. But ultimately, PaperX to collect on another round. They will now meet with what they had in the first map.
Just something things also. Does have a judge now in hand, so alongside the Han, able to sneak through. Here can't really hear. It's a peep.
Yeah, and unless you're investing a drone here from Izu, for example, you'd have to try and just go with body and hit the headshot, which you're not doing, but you're still getting the kill.
And midair,
Oh,
towards
boss.
Buzz, who does have the perfect crosshair placement to pick up 2 kills. Jingo
Kenapa nggak
picks
flash?
2 up himself as well. TPs into safety into a position where maybe unexpected for Meteor. Oh, snaps on towards the quad. Online for the ace.
Kenapa harus
now.
ngedes dah? Kalau nggak ngedes mati itu dia.
You know where the spike is as well, so don't give Silva the 1v1s. That's the very least we could ask.
Jing does have the regen shields too, so that's back behind.
Okay, into the spot. dibawah allowing his brethren to pick up the ace. Certainly a huge boost of confidence for the
Hampir tuh,
PaperX
Cok,
core.
bos.
I mean, it absolutely has to be, right? You want to see your individuals coming online, you want to see the team working together as a unit. A little bit awkward for something losing that first duel, but the fact that Jing is able to just get both of them in mid when you've got the dash from Buzz into the crosshairs of Jing. He doesn't need to move that much to be able to strafe that kill over towards him. And then ultimately ending with the ace.
Which then brings us into the next round where T1, having built up, well, I was going to say a couple, but that's a lot of ultimates. So full rush in towards the B site.
Minus Fury in as well, see what damage is going to be able to come out with this one from Izu, as the site itself is going to be fully cleared on out. Meanwhile, Patman can rest, he can wait, and he can rip on his own null command, but they have to kind of respect this lockdown for now.
Could burn further time away. Shearwall prepped up though.
Yeah, because you got to remember, no Sobot for PaperX, opting for Forsaken on Fade instead, so if you're taking this space.
Please, Meteor. Kill one, please.
Yeah, could definitely play spoiler. He spotted out that smoke as well, but Jing
Aduh.
able to sidestep it into the kill.
Susah
They know that
nih
this
ini
is
kalau
behind. And now spotted.
Paranoia spots it out, but ooh, something fortunate with Izu able to hold down ground for the meantime. In towards Buzz then, who's playing around the smokes. Decent trade still coming back forth until Stacks lines them up. Low HP though, and dibawah able to possibly just
si
run and
Bal.
gun down into the ground, and PaperX will
Emang
pick up
susah
yet
ini
another
map ya
round.
PaperX
Yeah,
ini.
Stacks knows that that was a winnable prospect in that one. Finding the first ones and then just the 1 versus 1 at the end.
Tapi something like it's like what ya?
Better of him, I think, and dibawah's position. Just expecting that duel to come locked in a little bit. Nice try for Stacks, bit of a golf clap there, but ultimately PaperX recognizing that they have to shift into a little bit of a retake scenario as well, getting some good flanking action happen with the 3 of them, immediately popping the null commands. It makes it a little bit more difficult for the likes of T1, you would assume, but yeah, the 1 versus 3, and I mean, he was already tagged up by dibawah on that drop down, right? So, a bit rough for the likes of T1, and they're going to drop a timeout into the vault.
Fair enough. And also just, you know, anticipation from PaperX. So it's seeing that many ultimates, but we'll see what T1 can cook up together now, because it wasn't the entire arsenal of ultimates being dumped into that one round,
But it was a lot. I mean,
true.
Lockdown, Null Command, Hunter's Fury, like that's 3 big ones on a map like Ascent on this attacking side. That take a little bit to come back online, right? 8 or 9 ulti orbs.
All this slumped over into their chairs right now, but also a lot of thought being thrown into the process. They had a banger of a map on Fracture. Ascent, a map which, you know, they were kind of innovators of things.
Yeah, I mean,
Thrown around.
we've seen this map be banned by T1 in their last 3 best of 3s. Right?
Not played a
So,
single time
Not played this year,
in regulation yet.
and you're definitely thinking it's curveball scenario for T1 having, you know, been banning this map. Usually they would come out and think, all right, well, on PaperX, they're going to ban it in a second if we don't. But no, they picked it. So
Apparently not. We'll see. PaperX so far so good. Just being able to read things, so kind of redeeming themselves from that first map, and I want to reserve my judgment for now.
See if Meteor's going to hang around after being corner revealed on this one. Baited out by the Prowler. Jing to remove his head, but that's going to be the go time for the rest of T1 to get towards this alpha side.
Jing finding monstrous kill after monstrous kill ever since that ace now, but still.
Do they take forward space? Last time they didn't, and it got the better of them. They still choose not to, and remember, Patman with the 0 point can remove these blades.
And I think it's a little bit tough for them to find forward space now, especially knowing there's so many players nearby. You got to think about A-main as well, where another smoke comes out from Jing, so kind of aware. And that's where they all get pinned down by this steel guarded. Guns rocked away. How do you work around this? Unless you are Buzz.
Here's the flank.
He's got to meet every single hostile with full threat. Finds the first and the second as well, but into the smokes to buy. Buzz, though, he's angry. He's finding yet another. Stings onto another kill, but Izu then traded back off.
Redeem yourselves.
Trying to scrounge this up. He could just send into a right click, but something in with the phantom shots. 5.56 rounds just picks the round up, but no
Mati
time
nggak sih?
for
Oh,
the
ambil
defuse.
asal mana.
And, well, Father Time will be smiling for T1 from this one.
Ai,
Still
mati.
go down with that one at the end. Got to give him still some credit there with the paranoia that staves off Forsaken from being able to come in with a bit of an early retake when the flank was happening through main. And then also a From the Shadows reposition just to make sure he's in the right location to be able to deny the spike line.
Nice kill. Gila, kill temen.
Little heads up omen plays from him. Get that kill no scope. That was disgusting. Anyways, that's another round for T1, and they will push Paper X onto a bit of a more...
Basically something udah 6 sekarang, udah nggak kayak tadi 1.
But nothing too substantial unless they get advantage and they can steal them.
Well, yeah, certainly trying, but pushing all the way out. Quickly read by T1 until not stability found. They're not quite able to hold down this
Ini
house
triknya
position.
DFM atau Zeta itu ya?
Though,
Yeah, it's
by an opening site.
Iya DFM,
straight
trik
into
ke
the
DFM
side
aja.
for another 3 versus 3 post-plan scenario. Meanwhile, Paper X have picked up these weapons. I think the question is going to be with how deep they are in towards B main, are they going to still go for this? I did just note that Dubai picked up the ulti orb before the plant went down, so he's at least wanting to get that one back online as early as possible.
Still a good chance to use it for the latter half of this first half, but we'll see. Buzz is playing into a really slippery position, shall we say. Paper X might not be aware.
Lots of util here for Sylvan and for Izu.
Which could buy further time off the spike as well. Sends it through. Buzz now making some noise, creating presence where Paper X then get distracted. The spike continues to beep away Komodo, and Izu tries to lock down the angle. So far so good. Jing launches the first kill. Buzz then making noise around the backside of the tree door. Jing still finds another shot though. And it's just Sylvan left. The spike beginning to tap away, but still time being bought up now and will go off. T1 coming up with yet another round.
And it takes both of them with it as well. No surviving with the weapons into the next round for Paper X, but by the credits, they will have another purchase to come on through. Red Bull clutch out for T1. Able to find a couple of openers, but it looks a little bit risky, doesn't it? Like when you're going for this mid-tile play in towards B main pushing as well. We see a lot of teams crumble in those sort of scenarios if they're not comboing a dart, for example, on the back as well, but you throw it a bit of distractor or a flash for
Nah, waktu dapat waktu buat diskusi itu
it's
T1.
good to see that they have a couple of these calls that they can come out and look to go behind them with gusto.
So, certainly much different performance from map 1, but they are still facing that potential loss. I know it's early on, but the timeout now being called, just there could be something in the comms. Alex maybe trying to...
Well, it's a couple more rounds in a row for T1, right? So you don't want to give them any sense of confidence that they're going to get back towards this one. As much confidence as they already will be with the 2 rounds that they've picked up, right? So have a little bit of a discussion as well. On this defensive side as Paper X, you want to try and gather as much as possible, especially when you're already in the lead. I think towards the centre as well, and so far Paper X have been the team that have got the most successive rate on defense for this stage.
That's considering the few maps they have played, but we'll see. Do have an outline that has something right now. It's possible ultimates as well. Of course, Seeking does stay alive. Paper X has been pushing out for the past couple of rounds. T1 that's playing cautious.
Just fall back towards a bit of defaults for this Paper X side. Prowler in towards B main, not spotting anything. Jing tempting fate. Does it nicely though, doesn't he? Looking for a second, it's absolutely absolutely gorgeous. Imagine a third in this one. No, removed.
Bongong aing tahu-tahu rata.
Patman relaying forward, however, but the main thing is you just lost your smokes.
Yeah, it can make it a little bit difficult on the defensive side, but it is a 4 versus 5. You do have a Nightfall for Forsaken in for a retake scenario, so you'd be happy in this sort of position. Patman would get the 0 point back online. Actually, as I said, they just got it back online at the 55-second mark, so...
Well, that is also precisely why he's trying to play into a more defensive position there. Finds every single one of them, tries to spray and pepper all of them down to possibly allow something to peek out with this Outlaw. In position now, Crosshair zeroed in, chooses to take out the drone, the turret instead, into the pop flash, but still great Nightfall, and that allows for the rest of Paper Rex to begin marching in. Meteor trying to thread the needle once like he's done before. He might be seized up to 1 HP, where then, even though his feet have been planted firmly into the ground, Forsaken removes him outright.
Yeah, strikes him 6 feet under. Nice retake round again for Paper Rex there, and that's why I highlight the Nightfall, right? That's why I highlight the 4 versus 3, because they're going to be absolutely happy to go in for the retake scenario like that. Patman with the 0 point, it removes the turret. It gives his teammate a little bit of an option to peek out just a little bit with the Outlaw before ultimately having to destroy it when the 8 seconds are up. So a couple of great little moments there for Paper Rex that you can give them a pat on the back. They set themselves up quite nicely now for another round on the back of that swinger, because there's no real credits in the back pocket for T1. You have to play Hero Stinger. Now, you heard me talking about it earlier, like Hero Stinger percentages have been very strangely potent in Pacific this year.
Buzz is the one wielding it.
Yeah, so let's see if he can do it.
Oh, straight in, close range, but quickly. Yeah, spotted
Udah
out.
ngehitam sekali.
We return to normal.
Sheer wall as well. Forsaken just happy to lap up every single final target at this point. Ooh, nearly. The fragment. Still though, fully aware of where T1 are. Just gotta play around the position safe enough. T1 begin to streak forward. Divine for first kill. Forsaken for the off angle. Patman from spawn as well. 7-3.
Yeah, looking to have a pretty damning defensive side here.
Map 3 apa deh?
Rex.
Please jangan bilang Icebox, sumpah gue benci banget Icebox kalau T1 yang main. Gue gitu. Mana tadi map?
We look across the T1, pick Ascent. That's definitely a stranger pick.
They haven't played it yet. I mean, PRX is going to get the start on that defense. They've been playing that very fluid fake.
Rex are starting to recognize what they need to do on this map, specifically on the defensive side here, to try and make it something of a 9-3.
Sih kalau PRX kalah di mapnya sendiri dan udah kondisi menang gini kacau sih.
Continuously getting shut down.
Yeah, I mean, he's always just been noted at least over at the B side, right? Whether it be by Prowler, by Haunt, or this time by Body.
Oh, nggak ketahuan sini.
That's it now. With stacks up in towards Pizza. Something with the op, toying with fate.
Oh,
Doesn't catch it.
Just catch the bell.
Still scoped in though.
Yeah, you're not getting out of that one in stacks, unfortunately. Another 5 versus 3 now, Quack.
Able to punch through. A-main, it's a little bit clear. The fragment and everything all thrown in just to force them off as well. Something with a mid-air shot. Jing in for the spray. And now for the final shot. Something picking up
Something
huge
marah
numbers
coy setelah
compared to
1-15.
Absolutely smushed down. That is a great shot to come out from something you
Big
expect.
Smile.
And yeah, I mean, highlight it again, right? Just forget the result from the first map. Come out of this one as a fresh new one. You still know how to play Ascent, even if you haven't had some good results on it. It's a map that's been in this game for ages, and you've changed one player in towards your roster, right? Mind Freak is technically still here, but Patman's in it.
Which then brings to mind also for T1 the recovery. They haven't really called it
Yeah, I mean they'll hold it for the second half. They feel the need to, switching onto their defensive side again. They are playing the old faithful Agents of 5 normie meta, the boring meta. Yeah, it's boring. Well, remember, you give me 100 agents, right? People are probably still going to play this 5.
It's tried and true. It's optimal.
Yeah, this is true.
It's a team that are so used to.
Is it though? Because Paper Rex are leading quite.
Okay.
8-3.
Fair.
Trying to turn it 9-3 now.
We have modern iterations of the Ascent conquer. That said, though, right now it's a lot of footsteps, a lot of information in towards B until T1 rotates silently in towards A.
Gotta remember, there is a null command for stacks. Izu with a Hunter's Fury. They can look to set these up as Izu's playing Lurk. Maybe has to think better of overextending by himself too much. 50 seconds to go. 0 point though. getting what, 2, maybe 3?
Which would be enough to confirm a possible hit. The turret down as well. 50 seconds left for T1, and they have yet to decide.
Are they scared in a situation like this? From the shadows from Sylvan, still to spot out some information if they want to pivot, but it's just going to be a pivot up the guts of mid, potentially to still go to the A site if they do want to with that lockdown, pushing them out. But with confirming the information now, the eyes are going to be towards this Bravo site, and something guns have to do the delivery here.
Oh, so quick. Well, thankfully, Jing does TP down towards Boathouse, though. Hold. Something close by. Might push into stairs. Jing gets taken out. And this might be a chance for T1 to get the spike down. Playing post plan as well.
Blaze are going to come back online for something here. Dibawah with the steel guard at 2.
In position, but you also do have Meteor kind of lurking back around. PaperX might not be aware that you have the Hunter Spear being sent through. Meteor springs forward, and it's just Dibawah left.
1v5.
Might have sent over
Gak mungkin
the
kan
ult.
bilang 1
Can
lawan
he really
5.
find every single shot? If he pushes through that smoke, he might find certain death. So, trying to play it safe, but he gets suppressed as well into position.
Flawless.
To pick up the first, a flawless round for T1 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, you think they might get a little bit locked out of that A site there as well, right? And they're opting not to have Sylvan with the From the Shadows to just book it towards B, open up some space for any lurkers that might be still on the site itself, which technically Jing did get there a little bit early, right? He wasn't taken out. He was given an option to try and win some duels, but just didn't really happen there. And
Nice kill.
T1, they do make it work. The plan goes down with the layering of the ultimates and the lurk out from Meteor 2. So 4 to 8 at the half. I think it's quite respectable for PaperX going in towards the second. But I'm also just remembering, right, for T1, 4, whilst it's not the best, it is still manageable with a pistol with a second, with a couple of slip-ups. So we'll see. Best stats celebration. Mouse kiss or vamos!
Okay, mouse kiss. That's what it's going down to. I think we've seen a lot. I think one of my favorite ones, though, is the one where he kind of gave that wave for PaperX, you know, against, was it Cloud9? Way back when. Which is scarier?
Good wave, good wave. Which is scarier, Forsaken's agent pull or Alex's punch? Yeah, probably the punch, because we look at Forsaken's stretch of agents, and I mean, I'm going to do him dirty here. Look how many agents are actually resulting in a negative.
Oh. Whoa.
I mean, when you only have like a couple of agents played once, right? It's the smallest of sample sizes.
When you put it like that.
Yeah. Alex's punch, I mean, that's a lot more consistent than the agents that Forsaken's playing, so.
Oh my god, all jokes aside, this still could go the distance.
For sure.
Depending on how PaperX starts off on the second half. T1 definitely show signs of life still. Starting off with Buzz under Sheriff, possibly peeking down mid.
Yeah, let's see what PaperX's offenses do have for us now.
Right, this is where PaperX truly got tested, because they haven't seen T1's ascent in the longest time ever, remember.
And they can have as much guesses as they want with what agents
Buzz ngapain dah?
specifically where,
Oh,
what
ngeliatin.
tendencies T1 are going to come out with. But, you know, defensive side for this 5 was a meta for the longest of times. Generally Killjoy B side, but a change up to T1, a little bit of a different look, and I don't mind it right now, but the test is going to be over the B choking for Izu.
He spots him, takes a bit of damage as well. Jing with a flash through. Ooh, that's lovely.
Oh.
Allows them to find Izu, but Stacks and Buzz undetected. They spring forward, forsaking the trade back. It's 2v2.
Yeah, it was a 4 versus 2 for a mere moment in time, wasn't it? Plans to start to go down by Patman, clearing the site 2 first, has the 0 point available. To expect Forsaken to have slipped in towards B main here.
Maybe, especially the flash. You do have the smoke up as well, so Sylvan definitely block things off. Forsaken looking to peek off of the smoke bloom though, but a little bit early now. He finds himself in a precarious position. Can he find a single shot? Quick for the hunt, but gets cut out the animation.
I like this from Patman. A good reposition, but Sylvan expecting it, what a shot!
And now for the next highlight,
Wow.
he finds every single bit, and he laps it all up. 1v2 clutch. It's a Red Bull victory for Patman to pick the pistol up in the second half of PaperX.
Man, I'm looking towards the ghost shots to come out in this round, and you're just thinking to yourself, why have they bought armor? Why have they got 25 extra HP that I can't finish him off immediately? But the ones that haven't got that little light shield in there, I mean, they just head removed from the shoulders, Buzz and Stacks, courtesy of Forsaken in that one. But this first shot from Patman, I mean,
Patman jago juga ya.
absolutely
And it just tells you how confident he is now. If there were a scenario where he wasn't feeling as confident, he's hiding still inside Boathouse, that might have been a very different round. So great round by Petman, but back in.
I mean, let's just put Petman on KO all the time. We'll see.
Depends on what the team demands, but still right now, at least with the Vandal shots being sounded off, T1 then beginning to move on over. Tabai trying to lurk and hold out by top mid. Will be able to clip someone's head in towards the site, though. The hit kind of trails off.
A little bit. Bye.
Nice
Able to
one.
get a second one, but it's a little bit of damage at least.
Yeah, good enough then for the site hit to come through. Paranoia sent over. Something looking for a different pathing, knowing that could be
Bawah, cek
easier,
bawah.
kind of tucked in somewhere.
Nice.
Then spraying forward with the Bulldog, something to play in towards Spawn. Does find the first one, and then to play disciplined.
Gemes gitu kalau ngeliat PRX, makanya.
Meteor then slowly creeping
Ay,
forward
si
in
Bai.
for the shots. Petman finds Meteor.
But it's Sylvan down on 19 HP, courtesy of the damage that Divide dealt before his demise. So this one comes difficult.
Yeah. And for Petman on the peak
Ow.
as well, will quickly
Sylvan low sih
dispatch
tadi.
Sylvan with that headshot.
Badawai.
Decent economical damage as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, something that we think of from T1, right? They're getting a lot of victories, but they're never doing them clean to O style, right? It's always these three maps that we're delivered for them, always keeping us on the edge of our seat. But you know, still looking to have some deep runs, still looking to do some great damage. Is this another scenario, another page in the book of T1 map 3 affairs? The way the Paper X are playing at the moment, potentially so, but this bonus round here is going to be a potential decisive blow for either which way. It's a great little buyout for Paper X, by the way. 3 Vandals, a Bulldog and a Judge. Definitely work with that.
100% endurance, and Meteor still
What
has
the
some
hell?
tank until that is.
Something beneran marah, cok.
Leads him dry.
Yeah, tagged up by the Shock Dart as well. So 49 Harry Potter's there. See if he's still going to be able to bring some magic in this round for Paper X. Meanwhile, bit of a lookout from Sylvan to mid. You've got Stacks there as well. Guts.
And then possibly for Jing, something to cast with Guardian Leviosa into the A site, but do have Sylvan sneaking up with an invisible cloak, though.
Petman's aware. He's aware of it.
Oh.
And he's got Sylvan. So
Aduh,
now
kenapa
it's a
sih?
little bit better for Paper X. Meanwhile,
Aneh
Petman
banget
picking
dong
up
kalahnya.
the command, removing everything.
Whoa,
Stacks
Stacks.
is just trying to send it early, and
Dives
he's
down.
not going to do anything.
Oh, flash play being read as well. Down to Buzz, who's looking for the shots. He does find the first, but Padman, once again, back online. Izu the only one left, and he's right on the other end of that smoke. Jing quickly spots him out.
Bonus round secured for Paper X. This is why I mentioned that there's certainly enough
Damn,
that they
kalahnya
can
begini,
do in this
man.
round, right? Starting off with something, finishing with Patman, I would have to say, picking up.
Ngelek lagi, monyet.
Got the null command going into that kill before Silver.
Aneh banget Sylvan dah, kenapa dah?
I mean, you've got what, 3 players assisting there for something's kill. I mean, you're getting everybody kind of contributing in this map for Paper X in some way or another. That's the bonus round 1, so it's 11 to, tell me the number, T1, 4?
Yeah,
That's a bit
Not-
of a rough
not a lot,
one
yes.
for the Korean fans.
that's why it's a little bit silent in the S-Plex Stadium for now. But that said, you know, it still is a hell of a map for Padman.
And I mean, if you remove yourself from the equation in this scenario, we were flipping it the other way on Fracture, right? So this very well may be a scenario where you're just trading maps and pushing us to the third.
It certainly looks like that's what both teams want us to do. But I will say, though, you know, the scoreline on Fracture kind of different, right? With how many rounds Paper X kind of let slip.
Yep.
This time, however, you know, a lot more stability thanks to the likes of Jing, who's putting up huge kills on the Omen, but also for Padman again. I mean, I have to mention because he's so aware. He's been a great addition to the team.
And I mean, I'll highlight something as well, right? He's getting one kill almost nearly every round, where in the last map he had 1 kill.
Can't count Ilya out. That said, we'll have to see what T1 has in stock for us. Called the timeout now,
Yeah, but it's just the bad buy, right? It's a Stinger, it's some Sheriffs.
or you might be facing that point.
Yeah.
Apa sih kok ngelek? Apaan dah?
In the server today. Lots of Killjoy set up for the A site here. Refresh the one way, you can send in a Prowler as Forsaken to spot some information before ultimately going together as a unit.
Meanwhile, it's just all the defensive utility around the A site. Paper X
Skin apaan itu?
not really recon out so far.
Yeah, this gets a little bit dangerous as T1 do have 3.
It's time for the default hold. Yeah, 3 on the side. We'll see if they can find close range damage. Something. Oh, quick on the snap.
Timmy
In for the
turret.
kills as well. Timmy the turret does find 1, but Buzz in with the ghost 2. Then trying to waterfall off, but still with the pop flash in. Oh, come on, not quite enough. Stacks.
Aduh, gak
So many
dapet.
reveals off Izu's Recon, just can't finish
Not
anyone.
enough. Yep, you got the Razor Vines up now as well. I think they shut it down, but still in for the firefight. It's just Paper X with a firing squad, but now they're low HP.
Yeah, both of them are low, aren't they? This is doable.
Izu,
Dia juga low
chance,
anjir.
but Paper X trying to hold up for the linear line now, which makes it tough for
Sabar,
Izu
sabar,
to
tunggu scan, tunggu
swing
scan.
all the way forward. Will take a massive bunch of cojones for him to really go in for the duel. Waits for the recon, plays it safe. Paper X quickly shooting it down. Not quite able to locate the wall bang. He's trying to.
Ih, kenapa sih? Nge-lag banget, babi.
Low HP, but Patman still
Tai, gak
comes
bisa
out on
ngeliat
top.
gue loh.
Just not able to get it. I mean, I'm salivating at the fact that the
Kenapa
Recon
sih?
got so much for Izu in that round. Just
Buffering loh.
not able to find a kill with the Sheriffs there. I hope we get to see it back in the replays, but of course, you know, a Haunt coming out, you know, an opportunity, a turret getting a kill in there onto Forsaken. I think he ran it towards the Molly, which is how that one's eventuated there, but yeah. Nearly a round just stripped back by T1.
Tuh kan?
We'll see. Buzz now has an
Oke aja perasaan.
posted up mid. No spot too much though.
Yep, posted up mid.
Nice, nice what you did there. That's it. Paper X still kind of eluding a lot of these sidelines. He brought back to the mid.
And this is where they just need to not, you know, let it get the better of them. It's only one round, it's only one round. But we have seen a lot of teams crush.
Ya udah. Aduh, apa sih nge-lag mulu dari tadi?
We've
Alah,
seen a lot of teams
mau nonton dengan
fumble and falter
aman.
scenarios like this.
Well, the rest of T1 here still sticking true to their position.
Oh, good timing on the 0 point actually, removing the nightfall from the equation for a couple of seconds and not allowing enough time for T1 to start to rotate towards the B-side.
Which is also a great push then for Meteor to go out A main.
And what does he do best? When we think of Meteor, we think of him in this game of Valorant. His lurks have always been a treat to witness.
Fine heads up duels to crash down onto the dinosaurs once again. Do they turn back around?
Cakep banget Meteor. Cabut, cabut, cabut.
Paper
Udah.
X,
And he just had to find one. He's got to go back towards the side for his utility, potentially replace the numbers.
which means Paper X are then kind of just funneled straight into B. Something trying to fly past a lot of it though. Does hold out towards the top,
Oh, kena.
but down towards the exact lane. Something then finding a double kill. Izu stacks. Can they hold it down at Boathouse? So far, so good. Izu with a double kill.
Aduh ya Allah, nge-lag banget. Apa sih? Mari Republik kenapa, Cok? Ya Allah, orang lagi seru.
We end the second match.
Apa tiba-tiba kalah?
A swift victory picked
Astaga,
up
kenapa
and
sih?
pushing us into
Nge-lag
match
banget
number
loh.
3.
I mean, this series deserved it. Our last series deserved it. It's elimination games in VCT Pacific playoffs here, baby. And we
Jelas
get
nih,
number 3
internet
to
apa sih?
hopefully deliver yet again.
Tes
It's good
speednya
to see
fake
as
anjing.
well that Paper X woke up coming into
Gue gak ngeliat lagi tadi. Lagi seru juga. Banyak nih internet.
He He doesn't quite
Ya
end.
Allah, gak ngeliat gue
Right,
gak
I
seru
was
aja
so
jadinya.
afraid of what it would feel like in their ready room, but thankfully they've been given a wake-up call. They're back here. But how does that look? They still got a lot of life into them. They are waking up inside. You can see Buzz going ham at times, so you definitely don't want to count them out.
No, I mean, what? It's 13-3 on map number 1, it's 13-4 on map number 2. I mean, what's in store for the final decider on Lotus? Oh, that is such a tantalizing map to finish this series, isn't it?
So much so. I mean, think about T1 going overtime from before. Paper X playing this map several times and having rocky performances back and forth. You never quite know what's going to happen, but you can be sure that it's going to be very entertaining Valorant. Komodo, it's all aboard the T1 or Paper X Express.
I mean, someone's getting eliminated on the tail end of the next map, not picking up any more points in towards the
the VCT Pacific chances to get in towards champions later this year. Of course, you can get there through, doing good in stage 2, right? You're picking up points, you're picking up hopefully a top spot to get the direct invite, but you never want to have to rely on trying to do something from a downward position.
Apakah di map 3 ada yang ace lagi?
Onto our desk to break down this map that we just witnessed.
We're back! Paper X is back! We're back on the roller coaster, and this is how it goes. 13-4. Paper X takes ascent, and something really giving an amazing performance, really bringing to life Paper X once again.
We are so back.
We're back!
Pilski, anything you'd like to say or apologize for?
I'd like to apologise for peaking the Metacom on a set. Why on earth have they done that? No, I mean, PRX, it's the same win conditions that we've seen work for them on this map before. They start out beautifully on the defense.
Tuh kan, kenapa lah? Sebentar. Restart Chrome ya. Anehnya, lag gini loh.
They come out with the default.
Surprise!
We can't win 2-0.
That's true.
We don't play 2-0, Valorant. We play 2-1. Punch the clock,
It's an
Valorant.
elimination match, it's playoffs, there are no more 2-0. That was in group stages.
It's all
Udah bilang, cok, something udah main. Something main duelist aja.
Prove them wrong in map 2. Where were you when something came alive? Where were you when they ran the railroad?
Have you
all the
been
way
talking to
front?
Sideshow? Have you been talking to Sideshow? I'm getting the same vibes. You're missing the tinfoil hat.
I'm just a
here.
believer. I'm just a believer. This is what they want. They want you to think they're gonna lose. That's when they're at their most powerful.
Let's all replay.
We're gonna check on some replays right now because even I'm overwhelmed.
Look, I think what I really like for PRX this game is, like I said, the active defense. I'm not usually a fan of Fade on this map, but the way that they play Fade and KO on this map is fantastic. You can see they're fighting both mains at once in this clip here. The Fade was prowling out B main, fighting A main. This active retake as well. Paranoia straight through market, Prowler straight down into B main, and they're getting a triple flank off while T1 has taken the B site. They can just be so flexible and active with this comp, and the way that Forsaken plays this Fade is fantastic to watch.
Yeah, the Fade is the real standout. We see he's able to use these Prowlers, so hiding in those corners like we just so easy do is so much less effective because we have so much less, you just have less util with the Sova, right?
Look how much they're bullying Meteor. Like, you'll see another clip of it later on, but like, literally, they know that Meteor's defaulting B main and they just run at him.
Gotta highlight Alex and the kind of IGL, whoever the IGL technically is for this game plan, because they really bullied him.
Yeah, look at this. Like, this is just Forsaken on his own at B, dry peeking Meteor and one-tapping him. Like, what is this? Meteor's like one of the best players in the world usually. You're just running at him.
I mean, I think Paybreaks are one of the best in doing this, where they realize somebody's having a bad game. And, I think they're really not afraid to kind of adapt their play style to go, oh, this guy's not having a good day, let's run him down. I felt like they did that.
I think so as well, especially since Forsaken, on the Fade can be so oppressive.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's still a little bit of that duelist in him, no matter what agent he plays, right? We've seen it on so many of the long list of agents that he's played. That's really just him. And Meteor, yes, one of the best players in the world, but hey, so is Forsaken. We're seeing that here. We are going into map number 3 now, though. We are going into Lotus. What are we expecting here?
Well, I think first we wanted to talk about the Joman.
It's
The
Joman time!
The Joman!
It's Joman time.
Oh, I don't have a Joman.
I mean, how could we move on without talking about this guy?
Legit.
He's so back!
I can't believe it. Everyone's talking about global esports Yeoman, but what about the Joman? Come on!
I mean, this is a guy who, he didn't have fantastic performances on this Omen before. We saw even Forsaken flexing across, comes back to Ascent, and he lit up in this first half. He said, guys, I'm not having to go out right now. I'm going to step up and I'll carry this one.
Yeah.
This first half, he was just so sharp, so electric. He would just, like we saw Forsaken do, he would just walk into main by himself and kill 2. He's an absolute demon.
I think Jing's probably the best player on Paper X for me in these last couple of games. Like, stage 1 for sure. Jing has been fantastic. He's been playing the controller. He's been playing the secondary duelist. He is fragging, and you love to see it. I think over on the third map, he's going to be unleashed back on the Jays. I believe we're going to see the Foeman instead.
Yeah, that's potential, but we could see the Foeman and the Jays. We do have to give it up for something as well, because we were questioning, of course, that performance on the first map, where he was totally absent.
Whoa. I was always a something believer.
Yeah.
He's back because he never left.
It was not great, Morgan. It was not great.
I've said he had to make the doubters.
He had to. So that one kill was on purpose.
Yeah.
He's like, just you wait.
No, but
Just you wait.
all
I've heard
credit
the
to him.
speech.
All credit to him. I mean, to be fair, to be able to turn around from 1 kill to 19 is massively admirable. It's a huge reset for him, and that's what people at Paper need. They need him to be alive.
He was like this backstage, ladies and gentlemen. This was what Pilsky and I were listening to, and I was like, hey, I'm a Paper Rex believer as well.
This isn't copium. This is genuine belief. This is real emotion.
I did have my copium, though. I did have my copium, and I feel like it's all gone now because it's all with Morgan. But yes, we are going into map number 3, and this is an elimination match. Once again, we have to understate that because one of these teams is going home, and it seems unbelievable that it could be T1, it could be Paper Rex.
I think for Paper Rex, I've been liking their Lotus on the last couple of reps. They've recently just swapped onto this double duelist comp with the Rays and the Yoru. I've been liking how they've been playing on it, and they've won their last 2 games on this comp. Most of their losses come with their old comp on the Waylay. For T1, they've also been swapping things up a lot. We saw Meteor on the Teo, and they've swapped away from double duelist. I feel like since they lost in Bangkok, coming back in towards stage 1 here in Pacific, you've seen T1 try a couple of different things. They tried to stay on the double duelist and flex onto a Viper instead of a Cypher, as well as the fade over the Sova. But now I think they've moved entirely away from double duelist, and it's been pretty shaky. Like, they lost pretty hard to RRQ. They lost a close game, I would say, to TRX, so maybe there's still some promise to this comp, but I really don't know what to expect from T1 here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I find it interesting that both of these teams have sort of interpreted the meta oppositely. When we saw T1 start on double duelist, then move away to breach Teo, we saw Paper Rex start on breach Teo and move away to double duelist. So Paper Rex now prioritizing player comfort, T1 moving away from player comfort to be what is a little bit more meta with that breach Teo. So very different takes on this map, and I think it's all set to be an absolute banger here on Lotus.
Yeah, I think it's also because Paper Rex, when you have players like Jig, you have players like Forsaken, you really do want to lean into their strengths.
Yeah.
And because they can't play it that way, they can't perform that way, why not? Why not just go for the double duelist? It's been their signature for so long. I mean, there was even a time where it was even more than that, but why not? It's W gaming for sure. And for T1, you do want to lean into how smart and how adaptable your players are as well. Going into map number 3, though, my big question is the comeback potential, right? Can T1 reset? Is Paper Rex better at doing that? So those are big questions that are going in my head right now.
I think Paper Rex are feeling great backstage. They're saying, hey, we didn't let that map one affect us, you know, it was terrible. Something is saying, yeah, that map, he's just forgotten about that map one, and now all that's in his head is that he can fight these guys. And look at how much they bullied Meteor. I think they are thinking, these T1 guys can't keep up with us now. They have so much confidence going into map 3, where T1 are on the opposite side of this, where they did have that dominant map 1, and now after losing map 2, you start to worry a little bit. You start to doubt, you start to think, okay, now they've woken up, now it's about the strategy. And I think T1 will be more in their heads about this than Paper Rex. Paper Rex thrive on the chaos, T1 don't.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what we get. I think something is the right player to highlight here. On the Yoru on this map, he's been a bit up and down. He had one fantastic game, one kind of lackluster game, but you cannot go past T1. Very close game against PRX the last time they played Lotus, whereas PRX have also been playing some of the lower tier teams in Pacific. Looking at T1, they're not going to change anything up. So yet again, Meteor is going to be on the Teo. Izu will stay on the Viper. I probably would have preferred them swap those roles, but they're going to back themselves, especially with how close they pushed DRX. I think they're going to think that that was a very winnable map for them.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm still curious about that. I think the other way around is a much more natural fit, but you know, they gotta know something we don't. Over on the side of PRX, they are sticking with the double duelist with the Foeman. Jing back to that raise. I like
The
this from
Jays.
PRX. This is what they were built on. This is what PRX built their dynasty on. It was double duelist, it was aggressive, it was in your face, So don't change now. Roll that train all the way to Toronto.
That was the something over on the Jet where he was really thriving. Now he's back on the Yo. It's been up and down for him, so if he has a huge game here, this is definitely PRX advancing in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
Hey, if not now, when, right? This is the best time to bring it all out. And for both teams as well. T1 versus PaperX once more. Now going into Lotus, the final map of the day. Toss it on over to your casters, Quack and Komodo.
Big Time's got a fantastic point. This was built brick by brick, he says. But at the same time, whether or not you're on the hype train for T1 or on the hype train for Paper Rex, this will definitely be a banger map.
Absolutely. I mean, you know what we say, we only have bangers on Split. Oh wait,
Apakah ada yang ace lagi?
T1 actually decided to ban Split, so we don't get that as the third decider. And we get more of a rickety-rockety shaky map here. I mean, Split's not the greatest for both of these teams anyways as well, let's be real. But hey, favouring themselves a little bit more on the Lotus side of things and inside of Split. So let's see how it's going to happen for them. T1 on the attacking side, PaperX on defense, and they're already having a how do you do up the front of B. Let's think better of that, however, and we'll start to transition potentially to A.
This is exactly what both teams get to do. They have Euros in their composition, something. A crashes in towards heaven on towards A, where he might be able to spot things out.
Meteor Teo kemarin kali kalah, Cok.
Back around the door as well. See who's going to be first casualty in this round. It's quite the slow one at the moment. We have Dubai with device util over at C Mound with a flash still available as well.
Some smoke's being drawn out by Forsaken as well, though, so we'll see. He does position himself for the mount push in with the flashes, and that 5 finds the first frag.
Yeah, the double flash combo, Paranoia deep, Arcro's close. Try and blind up everybody, but with that kill, you got to transition to the A side of things. Something
Kena lagi.
catching some loose
Tembak lagi Silvan.
right click.
As well as the spike getting planted firmly down. Something in for the peak, though, takes down Stacks, in for the burst from the rest of Paper Rex. Jake finding 2 huge shots. The J's doing some damage, but for Bob
Waduh,
as
lagi
well,
turun.
he's down low HP, so a little bit unfortunate. Forsaken will clean things up for the Dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's on the foam in there, managing to get the job done. So PaperX will pick up the pistol round. Of course, they won both of them over on Ascent, and they lost both of them over on Fracture. So if we play with the common denominator, you win the pistols.
Sometimes that's what it comes down to. Still decent work in trying to bait out utility as well as make some moves all the way across the map. T1, that said though, Komodo. Can't believe I am saying this, but we do have to say goodbye to either one of these teams at the end of this map.
I know, right? Like PaperX, a winning team of last year, 2024, or T1, the Masters winners. Oh my god. I mean, there was a world in which, you know, PaperX didn't make playoffs as well, remember? So they just narrowly scraped on buying in that 4th position.
And they're still looking for that return to the international stage. Right now, looking for the T1 players, hearing a lot of noise. I don't see what's yet.
Yeah, so that was just be able to come out and run.
Watching to hold it, a quick swing, but Paper Rex with the full rifles as well as stick combined will be able to collect it to so many kills. Just Izu.
Kenapa nggak ISO aja?
And Apes continuing together strong against
Dapat
Izu.
satu, nggak apa-apa.
Does do a bit of damage though, but you know that's what happens when you have 100 men against one gorilla. One gorilla, I guess.
I don't know, Chief.
Haven't been on the internet long enough. No, I stay clear from the brain rockets.
Ah, no, those are not allowed. That's the thing.
What is allowed is the full buy.
Sure, T1, gonna get their buy up, see if they're gonna be able to get on the board or if we're gonna have another installment of a bonus round going the way of PaperX. Who don't have the first buy as well, right? Lots of rifles in here. Combo of util towards the A rebel side of things. And luckily enough, it was a Yoru to lead the charge and buzz and get Crash out of there.
And then the Yoru to all from set Paper X playing around for possible level control. T1 does decide to head back in.
You got a bit of a big stacking in towards B though, PaperX, with Shia still in front of that as well, so confirm that no one's close at least with the Prowler. Meanwhile, for some
over, just bypass the shear. Sylvan has to play further up front. He's got to contend with Patman, who's been on a tear right now, right off the rip in towards round 3 of map number 3 as well. Meteor, however, now finding a single kill, trying to play off the post plant positions. Stacks being able to walk off a little bit as well. Another trade, but low HP for then Forsaken to come in. Once again, cleaning things up.
Yeah, another installment of the bonus round as I was talking about here, right? So, choo-choo, all aboard the Paper X train if you're for them, but for T1, yeah, getting a little bit too ahead of themselves with Buzz trying to pull out some utility before getting any assurance that no one's really close towards A here. I mean, generally, why would you, right? Why would somebody be in front of a toxic screen with a judge in that location?
Can't blame him.
Is not normal.
You had no idea.
But it works, and this is Paper X we're talking about. Sometimes they can be absolutely unexpected, which is catches T1 off guard.
Just again, a bit of a welcome sight, something, you know, having a worst game on map 1. He has had, you know, worse performances on the Euro on this map as well, but I mean, now starting things off, not too bad.
Has he had a worse performance than 1 kill map?
Okay, not worse than 1 kill, but you know what I mean. We do have T1 trying to fight their way back into the rounds, though. Sylvan TP'd forward in towards the Alto.
There is buy-up for T1 here. See what they can work with, though. A little bit lacking on some key components, you might say. Sylvan with no Shrouded Steps, Meteor, no special delivery now. Stacks, no flashes either on the breach, so you've got to rely on buzzers a little bit more prominently, potentially.
Position for now, Paper X meanwhile, peeking out. This time with added cover. You got both flashes dumped in, and easily collapsed upon.
And now you've got another player advantage for Paper X, right? Where you spot it out and push them back from Mound over towards A. You're expecting them to end at A.
Full recognition. The Salvos does kind of flush Jing away, though. Last moment, he makes it away safely. Hatman then in for the crouch kill, but Buzz and Stacks both pushing up front as well.
Ooh, that
Forsaken.
You feel like you needed to get that kill there because Stacks can settle for a little bit with Rolling Thunder. Something has been spotted, especially with the gun barrel.
Stacks might even hold on to this all for the upcoming rounds now. Well, Forsaken, though, straight in against Buzz. No chance to pull out the util. Forsaken trying to bring things back. Meteor low, well, on for the swing.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Udah, gue gak mau dukung-dukung, cok. Udah males gue dukung tim. Kayak dulu, ini gitu.
The fact that the last little soldier is spotted out from T1 there, and it's just a quick little call from Paper X. Stay on the knee fuse. I've got you cross. It's a bit of a simple one. Valiant attempt, I'll give it towards them. But you look through these replays and it's trades, it's shots, it's luck a little bit from Forsaken, catching some timing. And then
Plan di situ dah.
last play from Dubai just to make sure that he can call again, as I said. Stick it
Bocah,
on him. You good? It's 4-0. That's timeout for T1.
This is why you gotta need the train conductors for the T1 staff to really.
No, you need like a semi-truck to derail.
Whoa.
That's what you need.
I was more gonna say they needed maintenance on this.
Yeah, that probably sounds better.
0-4, but trying to fight around that
I mean,
together. They have had plants before.
When you consider it was the tail end of 5 rounds in a row to close out map number 2, and now you've got 4. That's 9 in a row technically. No, I like my semi-truck derailing train. They're on the right track right now.
Putting things into perspective, especially map 2. I see you, Komodo. But that said, still with his timeout, trying to bring things back together. T1.
Yeah. And these are the sort of scenarios actually as a coach as well that you kind of don't want to change up what your team is doing to derail them yourself.
Because we haven't really seen T1 put in such a dire situation before.
Yeah. So for Paper X, it's going to be a positive discussion for them. I mean, this is 10 members of the server to the A side.
All 5 on both sides.
This ain't counterplay, Clack.
Flash going over. Patman will be able to collect on the first. Blindside out from Buzz, but they have to back off.
That's Sylvan down, right? So if you want to play with any smoke variety now, it's going to have to be on the back of Izu.
He wants this so bad. He has the Rolling Thunder, but wasn't quite sure. And something just takes full advantage of that situation.
Yeah, this is a bit of a shutdown around the A side, isn't it?
He's back in safety as well off the drone. Buzz trying to play spoiler backing around. But you have Paper X just flushing out both sides.
And baited by the Prowler as well. Not expecting a little bit of an off angle on the B side too. So on the back of T1's now timeout, they are looking like not being able to convert. And it's just
Oh, he spotted him.
No, he didn't. It's alright. He's unknown at the moment. Punch is on.
Yeah, footsteps noted. Meteor back in for the snap, but, you know, that's how the story goes. That's how the cookie crumbles.
I like cookies. Right now, though, Paper X 5-0. Pretty damaging when that's a non-conversion on the back of the timeout as well. And now I'm going to do the ult check. 5 for Paper X, 3 for T1. But does T1 have the weaponry behind it with the idea in towards the next round either? I mean, we've seen a couple of change-ups from Paper X, right? We've seen some mounds takes, we've seen some rubble takes, we've seen a spot up through towards the pillars. They are changing it up for a team that we are generally not seeing as adaptable.
Dan kemarin tuh, yaudahlah, gue gak mau komen apa-apa lah.
They have switched up a bit.
Gue gak mau stres, Cok.
Map number 2 and map number 3 now, but for the beginning.
Really tough. A single week to recover off of 2 timeouts against DRX. T1 now back into Lotus.
Change up now as well with Sheer going over towards the C side of things. We've also got something who's going to be playing on the side. If he
Berarti kalau ya abis ini menang kemana? Lawan Talon ya?
well, stay around the side. So the Gatecrash
Talon kalah sih. Kutukan, Cok, dia.
is currently available.
Oh, boom. Wow, boom. Oke.
Nothing too close. This is where the mid-round positioning needs to be pretty good for Paper Rex and more so for Team 1 with the lesser weaponry.
To be clear about what your objective is for now, trying to find Spikeman possibly into the A site.
Just noting as well there with the gate crash that comes out from Buzz, you get blinded either by self or by teammate.
Maybe self, but nonetheless, the spams through from stairs. Forsaken collects onto the first, racks up the second. Onto the third as well. Jing now coming in with additional assistance. Ooh, around the edges of the smoke. Forsaken snaps back into it as well. Jing. This is the Jing that we've all known and come to love.
You will fear my omen is Forsaken. Quote that. No, don't quote that. You didn't say that. 6-0. Paper X. They stave off a silly round that could have happened if the pistols were able to get in towards the site, but they managed to hold it down quite nicely. Spam through the walls and such, just good little crossfires that they come out with. So now is the real test when the weapons back to Team 1.
Paper X have kept their ults as well in that round.
Yeah, they have not been pressured enough to be able to utilize them. There may very well be a scenario here where there's 10 ults in the server if Izu picks up the Viper's Pit.
Logically, this would favor Paper X as well until possibly from Buzz to play spoiler. Opening kill.
And that's important, right? An opening kill for T1 that we've not really been seeing solidified. Immediately though, Paper X want to regain some of this control, forcing out the dimensional drift. Forsaken going to be removed as well by Stacks out Rubbles. Now 5 versus 3, it'll be brilliant if they can get more, but Pat meant to bring one back, then trade it.
And also for something then to play the position around Rubble, but also with a trade from Meteor. This favors T1.
Kalau kalah, wah udah gue langsung off stream. Udah, gue nggak mau nonton VCT lanjut lagi. Sumpah ini kalau ini kalah ya. Lihat nih, ini kalau sampai kalah, udah gue langsung end stream, gue udah nggak mau nonton ini lagi, gue langsung main Valo. Udah. Babi, Cok, ini tim kalau bisa kalah.
Headshot angle spots him out, whipping the first shot. Divine able to capitalize.
They're not playing agents that have any damage. It's a blindside for Buzz.
Gue nggak mau stres soalnya, jadi gue nggak mending gak usah nonton sekalian.
The spike is planted for tree. Razor Vines though baits out the flash. He's looking for the tap into it, but Sylvan able to pull out the guns.
Yeah, much better from T1 in that round. Able to establish the opener, not being scared to run away with the tail between the legs, sticking around for the fight. The damage, as I was talking about, right? The fact that Divine manages to come away with another kill in that one there. Ill timing for that one, by the way, with people just going up and spotted. Regardless, damage is what I'm talking about, right? Is forcing out a bit more of an awkward buy for T1 than they would like, you would expect. So they might have to deploy a couple of the ultimates to offset that come this round. Lots of light shields, for example, with Claudette.
Possibly still another big explosion. Paper X though pushing all the way out mound. I'm sure the players around Pillar can hear all this.
Yeah, just imagine if Jink was going to be disrespectful and go through for that one, though. This time change up by utility towards the A site. Going to hold them at bay. But meanwhile, it's double trajectory lineup for T1. They want B. They also want A, but B is better.
Yeah, and that's where Jing will find his mark. He knows that there's another player nearby as well. Silences him off to the next 3 who are still not towards the A site just yet.
If they can get this pit down as Izu, they might be able to hold this one off cleanly.
Rolling Thunder possibly by time. Stacks just trying to get the spike down first. Then he they do have something sneaking in on towards drop. He takes down Stacks.
And they know that he was in there as well. The timing
Up, the Boombot might be able to spot even further. Jing then in for the sprays. He catches Buzz. Just Izu left. He might have to cover, but can he really keep himself alive? Petman alongside another player from the back. Izu stuck between a rock and a hard place. Tries to maneuver back in, on and around. He hears the hops behind. It buys the distraction on over. Poison Cloud's into safety. Off to the wayside, but it's something with the shorty to cut him down at the torso.
nicely done from Paper X on that retake. 3 versus 3 scenario, and it's unfortunate that the Vipers didn't provide the full protection for Stacks a little bit earlier on. Just caught when it starts to evolve into the server. Really rough there. I'm talking about, you know, trying to navigate something here for T1. They're trying to get into the B site, they're trying to get into the A site. But who thrives better in the chaos right now? It's the chaos creators, Paper X. You can never expect what they're kind of gonna come out with. Nice one out from Shorty there.
True to the story, true to the prophecy.
7-1.
Paper X running the story of the comeback.
T1 to P7 instead of X for 10. Maybe get that right. I'm gonna say it then. Sylvan dead, Jing, paint shells, working a treat.
And having to back off, spotted out towards Killer as well. Paper X still controlling the map.
Yeah, just the pistols though for T1. They want to get this round over and done with. They could line up to go a bit quicker.
And that's the tough thing for Stacks to deal with against a team like this. He's always going to be on his toes as to where Paper X could be if they're pushing out or not.
What are you doing on the back of this shear though? Buzz is sneakily snuck in towards the A side, very much so, but you're in the open using that as Meteor. You're not expecting Divide to just dance around the site. He's good for some damage, and now it's all Stacks.
It's not too bad. He has a weapon picked up. He's gotten the spike planted, and that was the main thing that they were looking for. So even if he doesn't find any kills, something, well, good on the cleanup.
Yeah.
But for T1 to get some cash in.
I mean, the fact that that TP comes out from Buzz and it's just kind of already been noted and dealt with as well. Maybe you're thinking towards Meteor on this Teo, just getting caught out by positioning as well. Right, we're still looking for him to be learning a little bit on this Agent 2. I've got to say, from the initial stage, Sylvan trying to step across to dodge all the choke entry from Silver. Paint shells go over the rubble.
It's just, once again, Paper X controlling both extremities of the map. You've got to flash on towards Mount. If you're T1, you've got a roadblock at every step of the way.
That's it, right? Paper X are playing this defensive side the way that they kind of should be. They're a little bit more length towards one side of the map while having your Vice Shield Wall protecting some position. You're having Patman with some good Prowler timing, with some good haunts as well. And Devi is just not overstepping, right? He's helping the team where needed with the arc roses. He's trying to buy some time, buy some information. He's now playing this well better as well. So it's looking really good. We're not seeing any scared players on Paper X. Like Saken's going in for challenges, something's going in for challenges, Jing's going in for challenges. And this is the defensive side, by the way, where they're running double ghouls, right? So imagine what they're still going to be able to translate that to on offense, potentially.
Yeah, precisely that, especially if you're looking at the scoreline right now, 8-1. They're going to continue forward with this, and this just means pressure continues to mount up on the backs of these T1 players, these storied players. It's a really tough spot for them to be in, and you really look to the coaching staff to help them out in this one.
And we've seen T1 be able to get in towards these sites to establish a plant, but they've just not been able to protect it, right? The opening kill conversion with the one round that they've been able to find. So you'd almost think that they need to get another opener, and they just can't. Jing, very successful with the paint shells yet again, and Izu will fall too.
And it's the spams that do it all. That's the darndest thing.
And now if you want to go to the C site, well, the Vice Util's there.
Flash over, maybe you TP into safety, but still Stack's not calling full in just yet. The trade's coming over though, thankfully with a salvo, so T1 finding some form of stability, but you still have Paper X hovering nearby.
Stacks and Meteor, early ults. It'll buy them enough time though to actually talk in how they want to play this post lane.
Will it be enough? Meteor kicks things off with a singular kill. Jing then with a showstopper around the back. They have to react to this really quickly. Rolling Thunder to buy some space, and it does allow them to stay alive, but Meteor not able to come up with the goods. Paint shells to flash Stacks into a certain position where he's able to hold it down with the off angles.
Sih, kalah udah ini tim idiot anjing. Capek gua ngeliatin.
Right guard at the right time.
Tim yang bisa main di
Able to get that
Bangkok
trade
doang,
in,
udah
and
setelahnya
it's
udah nggak bisa main
already
anjing.
low. A classic right flick potentially
banget gua.
could have got it as well, but picking up the shorty. I mean,
Capek
when
ini.
push comes to shove, from beginning to end, Paper X great in the round, a double opener. Though I will say, coming down to a 1 versus 1 at the ends, T1 certainly tried to negotiate some advantage in the round. Stuns, well, they're cosmetic, and the first shot just comes on out, and then ultimately Patman getting that one. It's 9-1 now. Another defuse from Paper X. I'm saying, T1 can get in these sites. They just can't hold them off.
Exactly, and again, it comes down to these situations. It just feels like utter pandemonium all across the map right now. All of a sudden, it's a kill from Defy with an outlaw towards the A site.
But Jing has to be careful here that they don't go too far forward, because this could get the better of them. So they will think better of it, disconnect from the situation.
Possibly back
Mati
into
mulu anjing, udah lah,
Fine,
santai
watched.
nih.
He's been smoked off though. Great call by Stacks. Hyper defensive. Corralled in towards the A site. Something's nearby.
Yeah, and he does have the dimensional drift, but he was snuck in towards the sides, just not able to find Izu.
Almost a 90-degree flick, but yes, Izu, stability for the side of T1. And then for the flashes as well, but Defy just dives right in. Another kill coming through, and Sylvan tries to bring things back into T1's favor. Just Jing left, and he gets spotted out by Stacks, climbed onto the top of the ropes, and it's 2-9. T1 find a round back in.
Yeah, that's better from T1 there, but again, it's just another close round where trades are coming through from Paper X. They find the opener. I thought by the time Defy was going to get another one with the outlaw through the smoke, but T1 get in. They get the round by elimination.
At least 3-9 Komodo.
He's fully blinded, man! He's done him dirty like that.
And now they're blind as well. I mean, this is what happens when Paper X are truly, fully W keying every single round of the way.
And on the defensive side as well, right? They are just not scared. Last round of the half now.
Whoa.
Take your rubble control. Force T1 back.
Into a lone Defy around C.
Yeah, again, you can play retake if you want to here. Nightfall, Dimensional Drift, Steel Garden. Very valuable retake ultimates.
Something's already in position.
Gotta be quick now.
Salvos to launch. T1 looking for space, looking to get the spike down. Defy is just biding his time with this ult.
Yeah, but I think something will have to go in first here. Make sure you're sniffing out who's going to be where for the team.
Oh, every single ult at the same time. T1 just completely in disarray. They're
Salah
calling it
gua.
Mayday. Where do we go? Meanwhile, Paper X says there's no return, pushing up front. Every single kill going through to them, and it's just these who up by Mount. He's getting dinked up. He's low HP. The spike gets defused, and Patman delivers on the final kill.
He missed the snake spike, but there's not too much you can do at the end there. When your guns get removed on the side itself, when you've got the dimensional drift of something, getting all the information, the shots are being collected by Paper X. It's PRX, it's 10. They are looking to send T1 a packing unless during this halftime break there is a different awakening force for T1 to come back.
Unless, my God, Komodo bringing out the Roman numerals now. Again, this is a situation, a scenario that we are so darn unfamiliar with. Yes, T1 has been tested throughout this entire group stage, playoffs even against DRX, but not a 2-10.
Okay, I know that word, but I don't know the top. So I'm going to say T1 fighting.
It's, yes, cheers of encouragement for T1. They certainly need it right now. Meanwhile, Paper X is in the top, climbing back up towards a possible return to the international stage. T1, though, oh.
Yeah, I mean, when you consider that this would be a bit of a curse breaker for Paper X2 on a 5-match losing streak versus Korean teams in VCT Pacific.
Certainly could mean a lot more for Paper X, especially
Kalah anyway nggak sih? Lu nggak sholat aja mending.
for T1. Again, can you believe it? You have to eliminate one of these teams at the end of this match. T1 certainly hoping for a lot more. The Masters Bangkok winner.
Then you've also got, you know, our Stage 1 winners in DRX who are in the lower bracket too. They have an opportunity to fight for getting back to the international stage.
We're thinking about the first Korean team that beat Paper X would be T1. Well, now starting things on the defensive side. Got some control. They're pushing out the tail drone as well.
Gak bakal lah comeback anjing.
Important pistol round. Highlighted it earlier. Both on map 2 went the way of Paper X. They've got the first one here. Can they get the second and pretty much seal the deal? cherry on top on this map. Izu tagged up by the Sheriff.
Now forced to play defensive. Brex quickly corralling over onto the A site. Prowlers out. Izu to play close. Every single player rotating over.
Yeah, a lot of numbers here now for T1 towards its A site. I think Paper X might just have to go patient a little bit here. The timing in the smoke, Meteor on the salvos.
Trailing off for the mid-rounds call, but they're hovering in towards Link. Meanwhile, you've got Lurks, Divine, hiding inside a tree.
The thing is, Paper X are already in front of this Viper Util. So Izu doesn't have to worry about the wall now. He just needs to watch the angles on the site with Buzz.
That's exactly what he's trying to do. Quick on the wide swing, takes out Divine, takes out another player, and something gone. Forsaken, though, able to bring things back into normalcy.
And going down, Meteor eventually salvos back online. Hotline for Stacks as well. The push up to Jing, finding more damage.
Insane wall banks as well, down to the tags.
Who's the worst team on Korea now?
Jing in for the double kill. The pistol round has been picked up in the second half. It's 11-2, Komodo.
Things go from bad to worse now. If you are a T1 fan or T1 themselves in the server here, the pistol round collected again by Paper X. It's 11-2. You'd have to see the force up essentially to keep them off 12, keep them off series point, and I'm casting it back to what we said at the end of map number 2 here, Quack.
Enggak, ini bukan PRX yang lagi jago. Emang T1 aja sampah, Cok. Dari kemarin Teho Meteor masih dicoba ini, udah tau kalah kemarin lawan Talon. What the fuck is going on? Lu mau nyoba buat apa? Mat Toronto? Gak bakal lolos, Cok. Kita nggak bisa dulu kalah. Lu pulang aja.
Yeah, if you're toying with rotations, you're toying with ideas, you've got a lot of space to be able to do that as well. The 11-2, just on that Meteor at the front of B. You know that you've lost a bit of control over at C. So how favoured do you feel going towards, well, the other side in A? Slow and steady, Paper X.
Play careful, will eliminate the first threat in the form of Meteor. Izu as well as Buzz, Stacks as well, it's still hovering around near ways. You got Paranoia just to block things off. Buzz has to TP out.
And Stacks no idea.
Stacks
Already got up there.
Open B side as well. Spike getting planted soon enough. Izu still trapped.
How far forward does he go?
Still hovering around stair. He does spot out the next one.
Who's the
Buzz
worst
then
in
coming
Pacific
back in
now?
because
Come
Jing has
on.
pushed out so far in front. Then Buzz has to play it safe. He's got the Sheriff. He will find the shot, but he's got 3 more hostiles to deal with altogether. Trying to sling out the shots now, but the
EZ,
gunslinger on the
tim
other
EZ,
side.
tim paling gampang dilawan, sumpah. Lu lawan T1 pasti menang, gak mungkin kalah, Cok. Aduh, kepos. Gak mungkin kalah lu lawan T1, Cok. Cupu lu kalau kalah lawan T1.
T1 to get back into this one. Will the next rounds provide us something a little bit different for them on this defensive side? However, you look towards them, and I mean the attacking side of this map for Lotus for them. I mean, yeah, so defense also, yeah, so. I don't know. Really, make work of that one.
Who's the worst team in Pacific now?
Another kill as Forsaken opens up the C side. This might be it, Komodo. Oh, it's Jake diving straight in. He knows it's almost over.
Absolutely, Goomba stomped on him.
Just 100% Stacks. How do you work your way around this? 1v5, you can't bow out, but you only have...
Who's the worst team in Pacific now? Come on! Mana keluarin Bas, ayo.
5 Paper X players to kill.
Nggak mungkin lah menang 1-5 anjing, culun gitu kok. Culun banget. Najis.
Final score 13-2. They've been going up and down, but here